Very good morning and a warm welcome to one and all present over here, teachers. I hope I'm audible and visible. I've got few bandwidth issues and the lighting is not really proper. So I hope my video is clear a little bit. If not, that's absolutely fine because today's topic is something very, very important from the perspective of, addiction, from the perspective of emotional well-being of the students. So most of our presentation will be on the screen and my video might not really matter to a very large extent. In fact, I might even close it after a few minutes for us to focus completely on the screen. So first of all, thank you very much for joining on another Super Sunday workshop. It gives me a lot of responsibility while preparing on certain topics. Today's topic is something where the research was really detailed, and we're going to talk about that in probably 45 minutes maximum. And let us see how much of it is going to be of a certain relatability factor. The moment we talk about Super Sunday workshop, the other day I happened to meet a principal very closely associated, regularly attends the session, and he was like, "I completely understand that you conduct continuous professional development programs, you conduct Super Sunday workshop, but what exactly do you really do to make money? What's your business model?" So that's a very powerful question and a direct indication that I've never been able to convey the message of what we actually do. So SuperTeacher as an organization, let me quickly set the context. We are into computer science curriculum. We are into K-12 segment called KG to 12th standard. Right now KG to 10th standard predominantly, and we write our own books, computer science books, and we sell them to the schools via dealers and distributors across India and few other countries as well. These books basically are the textbooks which involves artificial intelligence, coding, data science, digital citizenship, robotics, gaming, multiple domains of computer science, and schools adopt it. Basically, once they adopt it, depending on the number of children, I get my money, I get my business. Super Sunday workshop and the CPD programs that we conduct, which includes CS Gems and Super School Leadership Workshop, are methods and ways to establish my credibility among the educators. I would like to be known as, or Super Teacher as an organization would like to be known as one of the most well-researched, academically oriented organization rather than operationally or sales oriented organization. We very strongly believe that it's important to talk to children for nation's development, but it's more important to keep the teachers sensitized about the latest advancements, not only with respect to the computer science curriculum, but also in the areas of knowledge, skills, and attitude, among the educators. So Super Sunday Workshop is one such initiative. I hope I'm able to prove with a certain level of evidence that yes, we do good amount of research. Probably 136 Super Sunday workshop might give you some amount of research. So for all the teachers and principals who are wondering what exactly we do to make money, we basically sell computer books. As simple as that. Computer science curriculum. I write very well. If you like the way I talk, probably you will like the way the books are written. So the way we consume knowledge is what matters the most, and the way we impart knowledge is more like indirect proportion. So that's the reason we get into teachers training as well. In fact, we don't really charge for our teacher training programs as well. Many schools have been calling us and we go and deliver the training programs. You've been seeing that on LinkedIn and various platforms. So I hope everybody understood what exactly as a super teacher as an organization do. So let's quickly begin with the session on drug-free schools. This particular topic came to light after my interactions with few students who have been coming and asking for certain counseling, on reporting certain issues that's happening in the school. And incidentally, in the month of September, 3rd September, in fact, CBSE released a circular talking about its collaboration with Narcotics Control Bureau. Let me share my screen and talk about it, where they signed an MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, stating that we will take steps towards completely abolishing, the drug utilization in the schools. Today's session will definitely give you a perspective where some of you will be like, many children in our place, probably in Kerala or probably in Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal or Gujarat, they don't even know about drugs. But because of your session, everybody's going to come to know about it. Well, the intention is not to, give knowledge about drugs, but to provide awareness. The people who think that मेरे अच्छे से बच्चों को भी इन्होंने ये सब बताकर बिगाड़ दिया. Even my child even if he or she is good, but with your information, they are more curious to attempt on doing some things. Well, if not today, one day that's definitely going to happen. Every children will know about it. So it's not about prevention, or it's not about hiding the information. It's more about awareness. It is just like I'm not sure how many of you are able to relate to this. My wife does that very often. In fact, more than my wife, I do it. Whenever relatives come home, no, suddenly, uninvited guests, probably relatives or friends, you're really excited that they're coming, but you're also anxious with the fact that my home is a mess. Probably all your washed clothes are lying on the bed, or it's not really arranged properly. So what I generally do is, when suddenly people knock at the doors, we pile up everything and we put it under the cot, or we pile up everything, we just put it inside the cupboard and lock the cupboard. Some steps, drastic steps that I take it, like I put everything in a corner and just put a blanket over it, so that it'll appear little good. I'll repeat it, little good. That's what we do. So exactly that's exactly the scenario over here. So when we talk about drug abuse or substance abuse, and talking about drug free schools, so the people who say that, why to talk about it, so it is like an obvious thing, it's going to happen. It's just like covering with a blanket and calling the house to be neat. That's not the case, right? Let's understand drug-free schools. It's going to be really an interesting session. I would request all the principals, the teachers, to please forward this video to your children as well. We'll make sure that the topic is student friendly to complete extent, and also I'll give you decent number of references where the children, the teachers, all the stakeholders can report on what's happening to their child confidentially. So warmly, I would like to welcome each and every educator out there for the 136th Super Sunday workshop. I would like to thank everyone wholeheartedly for being so consistent. It marks approximately 2.5 years of consistency, not only for me, but also for all the educators out there. Thank you so much for that. So, Drug Free School Super Sunday Workshop Series Session 136. First of all, do you like coffee? If I ask you this question, there are many people who are addicted to coffee, in fact. In fact, more importantly, just not coffee, it's even the chai. Without tea, the school staff room will definitely be incomplete. Even if the tea quality is not that great, but you want that tea. Tea is the most important. In fact, without coffee, the day doesn't really kickstart. I'll repeat it. The day doesn't really start with a kick. That kick is an important word of today, and we're going to talk about that in detail. So if you are coming from probably the southern part of India, coffee is like a tradition. It's like the day doesn't start. I mean, the sun might tell you, let me wait for a few minutes, you just have your coffee, and then I'll rise. It's something like that. And it's been part of the culture for a very long time. Well, we're not going to get into the topic of coffee as such, but we're definitely going to get into the topic of caffeine. So when we talk about coffee and caffeine, they're very closely associated with each other. The quantity matters when we talk about, or we term it as drugs. So let's quickly, you get refreshed, your body got accustomed to getting refreshed because of coffee, otherwise it was never required, it seems, as per the survey. Let's quickly understand this. CBSE signing MOU with national Narcotics Control Bureau, NCB. So the issue of substance abuse continues to pose a serious challenge, adversely affecting the health, well-being and future prospects of students. In this regard, schools have pivotal responsibility in fostering safe and supportive environments that discourage substance misuse and promote positive lifestyle choices. In this context, the CBSE is entering into a memorandum of understanding with Narcotics Control Bureau, Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India, for cooperation and awareness program against drug abuse at CBSE affiliated schools. This happened in 21st August as an announcement. 3rd September, the signing happened. 2 days back, the event also happened in Sanskriti, the school, I think in the New Delhi, Dwarka, I guess, if I'm not wrong. So that session, I don't have any insights on what exactly happened inside. So this is the context of today's session, which I would like to put it across. And now let us understand what exactly we're talking about. But before starting, I would also like to mention this website. There is this website on Narcotics Control Bureau called as Manas. And Manas actually talks about reporting of drug abuse among the students, somewhere in the schools, and you can keep your information confidential. Yeah, so the identity and all the information provided by citizens will remain confidential. You can call the toll free number 1933. Okay, okay, okay. Somebody is having the mobile phone given to probably the toddler. I don't know. Let me disable the annotation. Yeah. So and 1933, it's 24/7 National Narcotics Helpline. And they actually, refer people for rehabilitation as well. We'll talk about that as well. And you can also submit a tip. This is how you could avoid and things like that. So number of tips received, it's 1,02,982 tips received so far. Anyways, let's quickly understand drugs. You know, Here in this case, there was a survey that happened. This was in 2020. I'm taking the case of Tamil Nadu because right during the time of pandemic, a lot of changes were seen in the students. And during that survey, some surprising, results came out. There are multiple surveys that are there in the picture with puts multiple states on the top. Some states say that, Punjab, Chandigarh is on the top. Some states say that, surveys say that Kerala is on the top of using, the drugs. So when you look into the surveys, I think what matters is the substance use and not really the states as a whole. You can't say that Kerala is affected, you know, because the sample space is always very less. You can't say that there is no drugs in Gujarat at all. It's a dry state, but alcohol consumption is still happening over there. So is it the point that we have to stop using all those things? We'll see all these things. Let's get into the report. It's quite interesting, but this is especially to Tamil Nadu right now. The survey was conducted by Institute of Social Education, a non-governmental organization which is working with teachers to find prevalence of substance abuse among school-going children. The drug is so called as substance. What are these substances? What are these drugs? We'll talk about this in few minutes. The survey was conducted randomly among 3,000 students in classes 6 to 12 in Chennai, Tiruvannamalai, and Ooty districts in April 2020. Look at the results. The survey found that 3,000 students, from 3,021 students, 256 of them, I'll repeat it, 256 of them, nearly 10% of the students were addicted to substances such as tobacco, alcohol, cool lip capsule, and ganja. 256 students. It is the survey saying, just imagine how many of would have them actually lied about it. When did they actually abuse it? So basically 30% of students said they used the substances during holidays. 32% when they were friends. 27% used daily. 11% used it when they were alone. Predominantly, whenever the teenagers or adolescent students, when they go into the room and lock their doors, we think that they are into something bad or wrong. It seems that with the current survey, the bad thing, the so-called bad thing, I don't want to really put it as bad thing, was done with the friends and not really alone in the room. There is multiple, strategy to find out if they are addicted to drugs or not. We'll look into that in the session. But 11% used it when they were alone. You can look into certain substances. You can see that alcohol dominates the market. Like 26% of the students have consumed alcohol. There is something called a Lip capsule. We'll talk about what exactly it is. 23%. Tobacco products, which include cigarettes, 22%. Whitener and rubber solutions, 13%. I'm pretty sure many of the teachers will be able to relate to this. The smell, I think some of you can even put what chemical substance is actually present, especially the paint smell. I think you might know that. The students are kind of addicted to it. I mean, even you like it for a moment. Like when you pass on and then there is a paint over there, you kind of take a breath and you're like, that's nice. That's nice. Some people get into it so much that's super addictive. End of the day, it's actually called as a drug. Why? We will understand that in few minutes. Ganja 10% and other intoxicants 6%. All these substances, so-called substances, are categorized under certain areas which we are going to look into from scientific perspective. State of mind, 42% students said they use the substances, drugs when they are happy. 40% when they were sad. So happiness of the students triggered usage of substances more than when they were actually sad. So just because somebody's sad, love failure could be one, a teacher not really responding to the students, having certain infatuations among same gender or opposite gender or among elders or youngers where they can't really express certain aspects and they get into something called as drug use. And it's generally a trigger by somebody external. We'll talk about that as well. 16% when they felt insulted or were abused. Abuse can be physical and emotional. 2% took the drug substances when they were actually scared, afraid. Let's understand this in detail. Presentation will be shared with everyone. You can share this presentation with everyone else. Multiple links are also present, here and there. Some of the major factors influencing is, I guess, the adults as well. Somewhere, more like movies. Let's understand that. So let's understand drugs basic overview. Very important. Look at this. I think some counselors, if you're there in the session, support me with the points on the chat on YouTube as well as on Zoom. Am I right? Something like that. Let's understand drugs basic overview. There are 5 areas this can be categorized into. First one is called as stimulants. Second is depressants. The third is hallucinogens. I'll repeat, hallucinating, right? Hallucinogens. Fourth is opioids or narcotics. And the fifth is cannabis. Very weird, right? Let's understand this one by one. Stimulants are those drugs that increase the activity of the brain and nervous system. The students become extremely active, hyperactive, and they feel extremely energetic. See, they make the person feel more alert, energetic, and confident, but can also cause anxiety, restlessness, and heart problems in the future. Certain amount of consumption of stimulants will make you super active. Probably coffee is one of them. And then you're addicted so much that you might need to be, having another coffee to be at the same level of hyperactiveness. So you got yourself tuned to certain level of hyperactivity because of the consumption of a certain drug, which comes under the category of stimulants, which makes you super dull later. And in order to become active again, you are in dependence of the same stimulant again. Common examples are caffeine, which is there in coffee, and energy drinks. Please check the label of how much of caffeine is contained in all these so-called energy drinks. Red Bull is one classic example, how nicely they advertised that this is one of the best. But it's an addiction. I'm telling you, it's an addiction. Student consume Red Bull before an exam. They know if I can have Red Bull, I'll definitely not able to sleep, and throughout the night I can prepare. The students prioritize exam to be more important than their physical body damage. Let them not pass by having Red Bull. Trust me, let them not pass. And then there is something called as nicotine, which is basically cigarettes and various other smoke. Cocaine is another example. Amphetamines used sometimes in ADHD medication, but abused for energy. All these energy drinks, look into it, you'll be able to see something called as amphetamine content. So simple way to remember, they speed up the body. The problem is not speeding up. The problem is depending on the same drug again to reach the same level of speed little later. Anybody over here is consuming any stimulant? Think about it. Think about it. If you are, then better stop it right now. Next is depressants. Now, depressants is exactly opposite to stimulants. What this fellow does is this particular drug slows down the functioning of the brain and body. So they make a person feel relaxed or sleepy or drowsy, but can also cause poor coordination, slurred speech, and even unconsciousness in large doses. People actually use depressant in medical. All these drugs are actually used in medicine to a very large extent. That is why many of these traditional medicine practices, they say that don't consume this. These are drugs, literally. In fact, certain countries have labeled Vicks, Vicks, Vicks Vapor Up, a certain type of drug, and it's banned. Are you getting which country am I talking about? Vicks is banned. And my mother-in-law over here, just like coffee in the morning, she'll have Vicks in the night because she has got sinusitis issues and stuff like that. She feels that Vicks is no, she got addicted to it. The body got addicted to it, something like that. Some of the common examples are alcohol, sleeping pills, anti-anxiety medicines, Valium, Xanax, and barbiturates. See, actually, the patients who have undergone their heart surgery, probably bypass surgery or TAVR, transcathetic aortic replacement of valve replacement, all these surgeries creates a lot of anxiety among the patients. So the doctors suggest a tablet called as Valium 2, depending on the kind of MG it is, and they take it so that they don't really feel anxiety. Anti-anxiety pills. People use it commonly. Yeah, it's like more like a sleeping pill. kind of, but it's actually a drug. Simple way to remember is they slow down the body. So stimulants is they speed up the body. Depressant, they slow down the body. These are the two categories. Look at the third category, you will definitely like it. Hallucinogens. Now, this is kind of a pandemic. I would say this is present in every corner of the country. Iodex as well. You're absolutely right, ma'am. When you look into hallucinogens, they distort perceptions. People who have lost someone very recently, they take into this and they start talking to people. Some people who passed away, they can feel them around. It's all brain chemical ka locha. There is no black magic over here. Let me tell you that. They make people see, hear, or feel things that are not really real. Say they cause hallucinations, altered sense of time, mood swings, and confusion. And sometimes they find it very difficult to identify the difference between imagination and reality. This is very dangerous. There is a drug called as LSD, very commonly available in certain parts of the country. Goa is one of them, and they mentioned in certain reports. Then you have got magic mushrooms. You can Google about it. PCP, it's called as angel dust. Ketamine, simple way to remember, they change the reality. So the first one is all about they speed up the body. Second is they slow down the body. The third is they change the reality. All these are information for you to be scared about. Some of you are getting astonished. You're like, wow. If you're really into that particular mode, that means you're already drawn towards the consumption of drugs. Yeah, children, if you're listening to this, I warn you, there is no reversal to it. Rehabilitation can be there, but the brain damage that has happened. Better not to do anything. There is detoxification, there is rehabilitation center. It can take you out. You can be way more powerful. You can be way more powerful without these in reality. Let's go and understand and talk about the fourth one. Opioids is basically the drugs that pain relievers but are highly addictive. They act on the brain's pain receptors to produce pleasure and relaxation. In one way, they mask the pain. You have got certain issues in the body, and these things actually mask in the sense they'll tell you that you're absolutely fine, there's nothing wrong happening in the body. So pain relief, drowsiness, sense of euphoria, but overdose can stop breathing and lead to death. Many people have suicided with multiple consumptions of certain tablets. I remember, I think there was one tablet that one of my doctors, in the initial days, there was something like ibuprofen or ibuprofen or something like that. These are all painkillers, including Dolo 650 for that matter. Without doctor's prescription, it's a crime to actually have these tablets. Morphine, codeine and heroin, prescription painkillers like oxycodone. Simple way to remember, they numb pain but trap the brain. They numb the pain but trap the pain. In soldiers use morphine a lot in order to numb the pain, that they have it. But this cannot be there in the school. Yeah, they cannot be there on the school. It's happening. Yeah, you're getting scared. What's going to happen? Absolutely. Benadryl was used before. Cough syrup is also containing alcohol to a very large extent. Let's go and understand the next one. Cannabis, derived from the cannabis plant, marijuana, ganja. Some people say na hashish. This drug can act as a stimulant, depressant, and a mild hallucinogen, depending on dosage. Cannabis are leaves basically, causes relaxation, increased appetite, distorted perception, poor memory, and loss of coordination. And this coordination could be your brain and psychomotor coordination. Basically, your brain is saying, raise your hands, but the hands are not really coming up. So something like that. Common examples is marijuana, hashish, cannabis oil. Simple way to remember, it muddles the mind. Dangerous, no? That's it. That's it. Let me repeat it. The first one is stimulant. They speed up the body. Second is depressant. They slow down the body. The third is hallucinogens. They change the reality. The fourth is opioids. They numb the pain but trap the brain. Cannabis, it muddles the brain. That's it. That's it. So all these are consumed by the students in reality right now. Many schools are suffering with this. It's literally a menace. It's literally a menace, and the principals and the teachers are not able to track. Why do this happen? Why does this happen? I'll tell you, anything that is sold in the market on demand, anything that's not easily available has got very high valuation. And all these are extremely expensive. Before giving the pocket money to the students, think twice. In fact, these days the children exchange gifts. I'll tell you, this exchange has gone to an extent of a very bad physical abuse by students. They're like, I'm ready to do so and so, but you give me the drug. To that extent, it's just not about the money. Money has become easily accessible, in fact. So be very careful with the children. So let's understand this from how are they consumed. So the type of drug, stimulants are generally swallowed as pills or energy drinks and snorted as powder as well. Example, cocaine, and it is injected as well using the injections. What happens in the body? Rapid heartbeat, alertness, nervous energy. Remember, many movies glorify this. We'll talk about that, and that's a wrong thing. Movies, the students need to understand the climax of the movie, what really happened with the people who consumed it. They don't see the climax of the movies where the people who consumed got distorted and they got killed probably in the movie. What they remember is the actions, the reactions of the people when they consume it. It's all false. It's all fake. But movies definitely influence the students. Media is one of the biggest threat for the students right now. But the regulatory authorities can just put a banner right in the beginning of the movie: tobacco consumption is injurious to health. But they can't really stop the effect of all these things in the students until and unless it's a step by the students to stay away from it. I'll repeat it: until and unless it's a step by the student to stay away from it. They have to take the steps. As teachers, we are in a position to inculcate that habit rather than stopping them or locking them in a door inside a room without giving them access to the outside world. It's important for them to take the steps. And how do we really cultivate that habit? That's a step towards development. Depressants drunk as alcohol, swallowed as tablets and syrups, sometimes injected, slowed breathing, relaxation, and drowsiness. Next is hallucinogens, swallowed as tablets or soaked float paper. So basically, there's a paper and they keep it under the tongue and stuff like that. It's very difficult to watch that. Eaten as mushrooms, inhaled as vapor or smoke. Sometimes it's in the form of hookah. Distorted vision, sounds, and perception. Sometimes, people come and tell the students, sometimes even the parents too by mistake. Hookah is actually a very polished way of cigarettes and they're very healthy. Pathetic parenting or pathetic advice. Students fall for this. Try avoiding smoking at any cost unless and until it is told by the doctor. There are times when these medicines are put in the form of, certain smoking devices. It could be nebulization as well. Based on that, we have to take it. But direct consumption available in the market is a serious threat. Opioids and narcotics swallowed or injected, smoked predominantly, and snorted as well. They keep it on the table and they just inhale it. Pain relief, euphoria, but can depress breathing. Yeah, it's a bad thing. And cannabis, smoke, joint, a pipe, mixed in food, edibles, inhaled as vapor. Sometimes it's called as vaping. Relaxation, altered senses, poor coordination. So this is the way the students actually consume. Many schools have already taken the steps to avoid this. I mean, go towards this particular area of corner in the school, and they do all these things. It's difficult to completely track them and trap them. But it's always better to have an NCB, Narcotics Control Bureau department people visiting your schools regularly, and that's what the MOU is all about. 3 months ka course will also be there by NCB to be part of this. So this is the general idea of drugs that I wanted to talk about. Many teachers are not aware about it. It's very hard to understand and digest the fact that whatever I spoke right now, the children, especially in the age category of 13 to 18, they already know about all these things. They're like, yeah, I know that. My friends speak about it and they've got a slang on that. They directly don't use these words like stimulant, depressant, hallucinogens. In fact, they do not know the technicalities of it, but they'll be like, you know, certain terms that let us not use them right now in this particular session. So actually what triggers them? Let's quickly understand on what really triggers them. The first one, the most important, is called as the peer pressure. The strongest influence during adolescence is my friend is trying and the friend is like, hey, try once. This is amazing. Just one dude, something like that. And that feeling of missing out, I want to be fitting in among my friends is something of a demand. Like I want to be cool. That's the peer pressure that we're talking about. And when you remember, we spoke about this topic of prefrontal cortex not really developed completely. So the sense of reasoning among the students is kind of very poor. So that's why even if we say brainless, we are not wrong. They are literally curiosity and experimentation. Some really intellectual students, your own children might like earlier they might be like, my child is really sincere, very disciplined, but suddenly your child will be like having these drugs. Why? Because your child was highly disciplined, was really good with their academics, maybe because they were very curious and they wanted to experiment everything. And they've gone to an extent of experimenting the drugs as well. So it's important for us to inculcate the habit of withdrawal as well. We'll talk about it. So curiosity and experimentation. If your child is really good, it's important for the child to also be very good at avoiding certain experimentation, which includes drugs as well. The desire to try it once or see how it feels can lead to regular use. Media portrayal often glamorizes drug use, increasing curiosity. You know, that's wrong. You can't really, when a movie is happening, you can switch it off, but you can really talk about it. You can like whatever they're doing is wrong. Let's watch it. Let's watch it, but let's not really try it. Emotional or academic stress. This is very important. Many students know the after effects of drugs. They're like, this will keep you calm. This is an anti-anxiety pill. If you're feeling nearly nervous, let's have a pill. And I remember one of my friends telling about it. So on that day, I didn't try, but right now I'm really worried about tomorrow's exam. Let me try it once, something like that. So here the topic is not about drug use, it's about exam stress. Probably let's reduce the stress. The urge to try the anti-anxiety pills will not be there. So emotional or academic stress, pressure to perform, family conflicts, low self-esteem can push students to seek temporary escape or relief through substances. Family environment, lack of parental supervision, neglect or substance use by parents or siblings increases the risk. Father smoking in a family, there are a lot of chances the child will smoke as well. Mother smoking in the family, there are a lot of chances the child will smoke as well. Forget about parents, even the teachers smoking, or if there is a stink of smoking from the teachers, there are a lot of chances that the students may try as well. A supportive, communicative home acts as a strong protective factor. Media and social influence. Remember, nothing can affect me in the surroundings is a very fake statement. Everything in the environment and surroundings will definitely affect our attitude and behavior. Media and social influence, pathetic area to be. Movies, music videos, social media trends sometimes normalize or glorify drug use. Recently, I watched a reality show where this Twinkle Khanna and Kajol were present and they were asking some random stupid questions, and one of them was on cheating, and they were justifying the fact of cheating. I mean, it's fine, and how dare they say that? They're considered to be icons of the industry, and incidentally they speak about cheating and they normalize it as if it's something that's very common that happens. Now the students who are especially in the category of 9, 10, 11, and 12 watch the shows and they're like, when people like them say it's normal, why not us try the same? In fact, this age category also challenges the norm. They say that, oh, you're still not done it, something like that. It could be anything. It could be drugs, or it could be, physical interaction. It could be anything. You have not done it. You have not done it. And the answer to that is no, I haven't done it, is kind of embarrassment among the students, which is the major cause of peer pressure. Dangerous. Influences and online content can mislead youth about safe or fun experiences. Accessibility and availability. Right out to the school, you have got the petty shop. Yeah, you go for buying a tea, but there's another guy smoking right in front of you. Let us not have it. So easy access to cigarettes, alcohol, or other substances near school premises or through peers. There are certain rules of these, places. I think the principals can take certain steps and directly go and instruct the local counselor, saying that this particular shop is not supposed to be present at this particular spot. Lack of awareness or life skills. Students unaware of the long-term health and legal consequences. Poor decision making and coping skills make them more vulnerable or tempting towards that. So peer pressure, curiosity and experimentation, emotional or academic stress, family environment, media and social influence, accessibility and availability, lack of awareness or life skills. These are some of the major factors influencing the students get into the drug addiction. So this generally happens something like this. Initially, we start using with experimentation. It goes to the next level of abuse, repeated use of substance to seek pleasure. Tolerance is higher use of drugs to achieve the same pleasure. pleasure. Dependence, body will physically depend on the drug. Next is addiction. Person continues to use drug despite negative consequence. Withdrawal is the time, the sixth stage where you want to come out of it. You try a lot, but suddenly something will happen called as relapse. But then multiple relapses, multiple withdrawals will lead you to treatment called as rehabilitation through detoxification and counseling. This is the stage of drug use, and this is what we are getting into. Yeah. So for example, something like maybe cigarette could be a simple example for us to relate to. Just imagine how many of us got into that. Initial use, abuse, tolerance, dependence, addiction is a very difficult stage, and you'll not believe whatever we're speaking right now is directly related to the Bloom's taxonomy's affective domain. It's first receiving, then responding, then valuing, then organizing, and then characterizing. You will please read about affective domain of Bloom's taxonomy, and I'll clearly explain why affective domain and drug use is part of affective domain, very closely associated with each other. People tend to die due to this. What tend? They are dying. Let's understand the last. Then why certain drugs are available in the market? We can simply ban them, right? Yeah, the last point. We can simply ban them, right? No, that cannot be the case. Total prohibition often pushes the problem underground rather than solving it. It's like the messy house where you put the blanket and say that my house is neat. Total prohibition often pushes the problem underground rather than solving it. Solving is the issue, not hiding. So the focus shift from ban to awareness, control, and responsible behavior. The issue is misuse and not use. Alcohol is used as a medicinal point in many cases. We can't really stop it completely. In fact, major alcohol is actually consumed in. It acts like a revenue to the government as well. In fact, you can ban a bottle, but you can't ban curiosity. Look at the statement, how powerful it is. You can ban a bottle, but you can't ban curiosity. In fact, the more you ban the bottle, the more is a curiosity. That's why alcohol smuggling happens maximum in Gujarat. Why? It's a dry state, obviously, right? They'll find a way to get it into. Only awareness and self control can make a society truly drug free. Absolutely. And then bans can limit supply, but they don't change the mindset. It's again with curiosity. The goal in school should be guidance, not guilt, promoting awareness of self control, healthy outlets, and emotional literacy. Very important point. Guidance and not guilt. You can't tell the child that, how dare you do this? You're such a pathetic person. No. Let's help the child. We are in a position to take them out permanently. That can happen through mindset shift, not through guilt, not through fear. Generates major revenue for state governments, then reduces illegal liquor trade and smuggling, creates employment and supports allied industries like deodorants use this, painting industries use this, medicine industry uses this. So you can't completely, stop it. Creates employment and supports allied, enables government regulation and quality control. So these are some of the reasons that the drugs are available in the market. It's just that we need to be aware about it. Encourages awareness and responsible drinking culture. Let's go forward. This particular website, I there are multiple states coming up with drug-free Karnataka, drug-free West Bengal, drug-free Tamil Nadu. I really like this website because they came up with this beautiful document. You should just go to the website, something like this, and there are multiple anti-drug clubs as well. Really good initiative. So you can go to the section called as documents, and under documents you've got awareness PPT, awareness posters, which you could put it in multiple places. And I found one really interesting document called as the general place document. Am I right? Let me just open that. It's already open. I want to check if this is the one. No, no, not this, not this, not this. I'm extremely sorry. Mm, Wait a minute. Wait a minute. This is the one. Absolutely. This is the one. So we have a document. I'm going to share this. So this document is shared in the form of a link on the presentation, and you can. This is a 200-page document which comprises of what exactly is drug abuse, all about the drugs, and how to actually control the drug abuse to a large extent, effects on the brain, effects on the body, resistance and dependence, and 5 points for valuing and protecting yourself. It's a beautiful document talking about drugs and drug abuse in India. There are multiple survey as well through this. I would request you to please go through this particular website and download this document. It's anti-drug page, drug-free Tamil Nadu, and it's present in various other, states as well. I kind of like this document because the whole document was giving a complete picture of how to start and how to stop and things like that. So I'll be sharing this on the presentation. You can actually have an access to it. Next is, again, I would like to repeat, in case if you're finding somebody is using the drugs, go to this website called as Narcotics Control Bureau, Manas, ncbmanas.gov.in, and you have got submit a tip, report via Umang app, and then 1933 is something that you can call anytime and say that you're kind of addicted to drugs. Please help me come out of it. Or have seen somebody is consuming it. Can you please help me come out of it? Something like that. So that brings me to the last point of the session, teachers. I hope we would have, got a simple understanding on what's drug abuse and all about. In fact, there are multiple acts in India which started in the year 1985 itself, like NDPS Act in 1985 mentioning about Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substance Act, then United Nations Office on Drug and Crime, Tobacco Free Schools, multiple act, came into picture, but many schools do not really know about it. It came into existence with, no, it came into prominence through CBSE signing an MOU with Narcotics Control Bureau. So this is how the whole thing happened. The interesting part about the whole session is, uh, I'll repeat the same thing. So the people who did not even know about drugs today would have got a decent knowledge on what drugs are, and how are they actually consumed. So it's not from the perspective of knowledge on drugs. It's from the perspective of awareness on drugs. Yeah. Thank you so much, teachers. Great interacting with one and all. An important topic. I would request all the teachers out there to please look into it once more, read about it more number of times, think about consuming coffee before consuming coffee. Tea, coffee, green tea, all these has got certain content. So everything in moderation is absolutely good for health, with certain guidance from the right people. Too many social media influencers saying that this is good, that is bad. Just validate the authenticity of the people talking about it, consult a doctor, and then take the consumption. Students, if you're there until 18 to 21 years of age, try avoiding things without consulting with your parents, the minimum. If you're consulting your friends, not a completely trustworthy information. Thank you so much, students. Thank you so much, educators. Great interacting with one and all. I would like to come again and meet you in the 137 Super Sunday workshop, the next Super Sunday. And until then, have a Super Sunday. Jai Hind. Thank you. Thank you so much. That happens when you say that, stop consuming the drugs, you will get threatened. You will get messages, you will get calls, and mishaps do happen. Be careful about things. But yeah, many movies can influence, anti-use of drugs, but many movies are equally promoting as well. There are songs which are promoting certain drugs. You're right. If you say that nowadays kids are too smart, it directly implies that we are supposed to be smarter, right? So let's get smart. Yeah, let's get smart a little more. Yeah, I'm sharing the presentation with everyone right now. In few seconds, I'm sharing the presentation with everyone right now. So, drug-free schools, and the presentation is on the chat, right? Thank you so much, Seema ma'am. Thank you, Asha ma'am, Sapna ma'am. Thank you so much, Alak ma'am, Alak sir. Sorry, Alak Nandini. Thank you, Nilanjana ma'am. Thank you, Nisha ma'am. Okay, thank you, Anita ma'am. Thank you so much, Pavitra ma'am. Nagratna ma'am. Thank you so much. Very important topic. Yes, sir. Mohammed sir. Thank you so much. Nirmala ma'am. Thank you very much. Bhargavi ma'am. Ramya ma'am. Oh, that's a good initiative, Shanti ma'am. Thank you, Devasmita ma'am. Shramani ma'am. Sunanda ma'am. Pratima ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Deva Manogari ma'am, good to see you again. Nandri, thank you. Elizabeth ma'am, thank you. Correct, Asha ma'am, you're right. But let's not wait for a session to happen. Let's prepare by ourselves. Preparing for such kind of topics is much more easier than preparing your lesson plan. Trust me. Because you know that here you're going to apply this in your day-to-day life. Lesson plan, you know that you're not going to apply till you make it, right? Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you, Jyoti ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, Pushpalata ma'am. You've been immensely helpful. Thank you so much, Pushpalata ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Deepthi ma'am, thank you so much. Alice ma'am, good to see you. Thank you so much. Parna ma'am, thank you. Mariamal ma'am, thank you so much. Arunava, thank you. Thank you. What a name. Okay, Nirmala ma'am, thank you so much. Oh, you have a drug abuse community. That's fantastic. Great, Rishi ma'am. Good to know that. Thank you so much. Beena ma'am, thank you. Good to see you after long, right? Thank you, Parvati ma'am. Dolly ma'am, good to see you. Thank you so much. Dolly ma'am is like in our school, no coffee, no tea. Okay. So no addiction. Okay. Come on. I don't know. I am kind of addicted to coffee and tea. I don't know how to come out of it, I guess. After reading about it, I'm feeling a little bad. Mari Chelvam, thank you so much. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Zulfa ma'am. Srividya ma'am, thank you so much. Definitely, definitely. Sakina ma'am, good to see you. Thank you, thank you. Maharajyoti ma'am, thank you. Hema ma'am, it's my duty. Thank you so much. Oh, that's fantastic, Asha ma'am. Good to know that. Yeah, situations are always scary. Being alive is scary. Yeah, we survive still, right? Oh, Isha ma'am, that's a big word. Thank you so much. No tobacco zone in our school. That's fantastic, Vidhan sir. Good one. Thank you, Ajita ma'am. Means a lot. Great. Yes, absolutely, Shubha ma'am. You can do that. That's great, Girija ma'am. Very powerful words. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you so much for all the computer science teachers. If you're interested to know about our computer science curriculum, on 28th, we are conducting from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. a 1 hour session on our computer science books. Interested computer science teachers can participate. You can know about this event by contacting me. My phone number is there on the reflection form. Thank you, Richa ma'am. Means a lot. Thank you. Thank you. I'm closing the session for today, already extended. Yeah. Okay, Rishi. Thank you. Nice meeting one and all. I'll meet you again in the next Super Sunday workshop. Until then, bye everyone. It's a weekend. Spend time with your family. The more you spend time with your family, the less they will spend on drugs or all such unnecessary topics. Bye everyone.